How would you describe Boston as a place to live and work?
Sometimes I feel it's a good city, sometimes I think it's the worst place in the world, I don't know.
It's a good little town, isn't it?
Let me guess, would it be foreigners, immigration, Brexit?
With Brexit devouring British politics, we've come to a place where over 3/4 of voters backed it: Boston.
This is becoming part of the national condition now, isn't it? Sort of bubbling away underneath everything else. All the money's running out.
Making speech in the Commons, Mr Johnson said Theresa May's blueprint would leave the UK in limbo and called on her to change her negotiating strategy. From Westminster, here's our political correspondent.
I feel nervous. Because media-wise, the World and his wife's been here asking these people about Brexit. And that doesn't mean it's not quite important. But also, you know, what sat under Brexit was not just the fact that people didn't like mainstream politicians, you know. There's a lot of loathing and mistrust of the media.
What's it all about, mate?
What is it all about?
Yeah,
Can you guess why we're here? We're journalists. We work for the Guardian, the newspaper.
Do you, by golly?
We've been. Oh, no! It's a living, isn't it?
The general consensus view here is that get on with it. We voted, we've done it, get on with it. We want it done and dusted. That's the end of it.
The vote in Boston was nothing to do with the EU as such or the economics of it. It was about immigration.
Beneath the usual Brexit talk, though, there's the same feeling we've encountered in very different places. It's about control again.
The powers that be don't want to come out anyway. We are in their hands. They want to be able to let the multinational companies carry on as normal, because it's the multinational companies that run this world.
You sound quite left-wing.
No, I'm not left-wing. No, I'm not.
But the idea that, you know, capitalist corporations run the show.
Oh.
I agree. Going in, so it's a participation sport.
We're just not going to leave. They're not going to allow it to happen, are they? It's like going back to the banking crisis 10 years ago. And the banks were too big to fail and they got bailed out. What sort of capitalism is that? If I win, I keep the winnings. If I lose, you have to pay. There just seems nothing fair about anything. Housing, the job markets.
Tell us.
What's happening around here, do you? If you live here, it's totally different. You'd realise why this is the biggest place there for Brexit. It's just those schools. They're cutting the hospital down, the children's ward, and the.
I know. I've seen the banner.
And why? You look, there's a lot of foreigners here. I thought they was all meant to be at work. There's a lot of foreigners walking around here.
Thank you, sir. When Leave won, round that time, 2 years ago, how did you feel?
I felt quite optimistic. I felt quite hopeful. I thought we stood a chance of getting nearer to how we were, where we were a strong economy and we had a bit of pride in ourselves. Sorry, I'm trying to find my husband. He dropped me off at the other end.
No, usually we do a sort of moving away shot, so feel free.
Carry on.
Don't. No, not maybe the ability scooter. They'll say, there's nothing wrong with her. Going to a PIP appeal tomorrow.
Your claim for PIP was turned down?
Yeah. So I'm going to court tomorrow. I've taken them to tribunal. So I'll go tomorrow. I am so nervous. I don't think I'm going to get it.
Do you blame anyone for that?
I think I blame a lot of people who apply for it who don't deserve it.
There's people in Whitehall making these decisions, cutting back the funding for these benefits. It's them, isn't it? It's not other people claiming PIP, it's the people running the Department of Work and Pensions.
It is, but I think the reason that they don't believe anybody is because they assume everybody's lying.
God, what hope if we're all fighting each other, not the people pulling the strings, though?
Oh. Well.
It was lovely to meet you. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
She's not the only one fighting. This is a business which gives advice and translation services to Polish people in Boston. Sort of like a Polish Citizens Advice Bureau. As you can see, it's in pretty high demand.
Well, basically, the lady had been let off from the company because you became pregnant. If you don't know your rights, you cannot fight if you don't have ammunition.
Everyone we meet is fighting. Really?
Well, we have to fight. There's nothing happening by itself.
How has Brexit affected people's day-to-day lives?
The amount of bureaucracy we have to deal with is significantly bigger. Even if you're going to go to the hospital, they're going to ask you, do you have your payslips with you? I don't. I broke a leg. I would like to get a treatment. I didn't pack payslip. That's how it is now.
You must hear some people locally say, oh, the reason that the NHS locally is in a mess or schools are overcrowded or whatever, that's because of people from Europe.
Try to imagine our position when we've been basically invited to this country, saying we had people on the street saying, oh, if you're looking for work, come to Britain, okay? And we're coming here and there is no schools, no NHS support, nothing prepared for that amount of people coming over. And I'm blaming government.
People to buy home here. They have job, cars, everything. Kids is going from the school. We don't know what next. If it's Brexit, or maybe the bosses say, so we close the factory for you and you need it back in the home. We don't know. All right, see you, mate. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Iga came here with her son 8 years ago.
You're my favourite person now.
And for them, the uncertainty is also personal.
Basically, I've been working overtime like crazy during the summers.
What were you doing?
Oh, I was working the subway. 80 to 90 hours a week. It was mental.
To save up to pay for your citizenship application?
Yeah, the application was around £1,000. Then we finally got an answer. I've been declined. I was shocked.
You've been here since you were about 10?
Yeah.
And you're 19 now?
Yeah.
And you've got GCSEs?
Yeah, GCSEs.
And A-levels?
The thing I wanted from the citizenship was a secured future. It felt more like I wasn't really welcome. It made me always think before any action, like I would say paranoid about what actually people think about me. You don't belong here.
Shortly after we leave Boston, a man who symbolises all the nastiness and division of 2018 arrives in Britain.
Another day? Some more noise in London.
People are protesting because they're angry about a lot of things.
Like what?
Brexit, Theresa May, cuts.
I feel that we're going the wrong way and that Trump is the kind of face of that.
And is there a British dimension of that?
Yeah, I think Brexit is.
And what happens when everyone goes home after today?
That's the sad thing, isn't it? That's the sad thing. It's just part of the 24-hour news cycle. It's gone. Yeah. And I'm now part of the 24-hour news cycle.
The reason we've been travelling between towns like Walsall and Boston and London isn't just about how much the country is divided. The two sides of modern Britain might also have something important in common, a sense that there are powerful forces at work and that ordinary people have lost control. And there's a silver lining to this cloud. If that feeling now cuts across places, classes and ages, there surely should be some chance of bringing people together to do something about it.
Start small, work within their communities, talk to people, communicate with people.
Something's happening.
Something is happening, but it's in a reaction to something. So all of this is in a reaction to what's going down.
How do you feel standing here, being part of this?
I feel British.
Explain what that's interesting. Explain what you mean by that.
We promote love, equality, multiculturalism, the community coming together, putting your ego to the side for the better good of other people. And that's what today, it's not really about Trump for me, do you know what I mean? It's about Britain and it's about us becoming better people for ourselves. Like, this is just a tool.
How do you feel about the future?
I feel like it is bright. I think, like, in order for good things to happen, you got to hit rock bottom first.
Outside cities, I go to sort of towns in England in particular, where people are very sort of disconnected and they're aware things have gone wrong, but it's like the weather, do you know what I mean? They just think, well, that's the way it is.
Yeah. But then I think, I was speaking to my friend the other day, I was like, sometimes in life, I think the worst thing you can do is sit on the fence. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves because of the state that the world is in. Like, we just want to change the world now. The mentality we need to adopt is do what you can, and that's going to change someone else, and that person's it's a chain effect, do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah, definitely, but Now it's about how bad you want it, do you know what I mean?
This is the great political and social challenge of our time. Whatever happens with Brexit, how do we take this sense that we can't go on like this and do something constructive with it?
I just felt like I'm at the end of the earth.
Don't know what's going to happen with this. And all the shops are going down here now.
The campaign to win Walsall North back.
Tory politics, to an extent, but the Labour Party has not been allowed to challenge that.